What is up, YouTube? This is Alucard AFK with the Mono White Control deck tech that you've been waiting for. I am really sorry I couldn't upload this before. I did have some issues with YouTube, but I've finally got those worked out, I think. We'll see when we upload it. And let's get right into it, shall we? So, lands. We've got some beautiful Zendikar lands. 23 of those. Not much more to say about those, and they're pretty lands, right? Got 2 Cloud Shifts. Cloud Shift is very versatile. Sometimes I play with 4, sometimes I play with 3, sometimes I play with 2. The standard number is just 2. So for 1 white mana, exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So when they're trying to, burn or exile one of my Angelica Walls or any of my creatures, I can go ahead and do a Cloud Shift. When I need to activate some abilities with Fiend Hunter coming back on the field to target another creature to exile, or the Azra's Justicar, things like that. So we can, usually they're to save creatures, but when I'm playing with 4 of them, obviously I kind of pick and choose, like I want to save this creature or I just want to reactivate the ability. So a very powerful card. Really like the card. Love the card art. So next we have 2 mana drops. We have Angelica Wall. Can't say enough about Angelica Wall. Saved my butts many times. It's a 0/4 defender for 2. 1 colorless, 1 white. It's flying, so, and it's a defender, so it can't defend. It can't attack, but it's very useful in this control type deck. We can get it out very early, sometimes 2 or 3 of them, and it's really hard for small aggro decks to get through, especially like red deck ones and things where they've got a lot of haste, 2 mana creatures for 2 that are 2 power, 2 toughness. So really good against them. It can easily be burned out, just like anything else, but that's what we're running. 2 Soul Tives. Soul Tive, it comes when I use it. It's pretty useful, and other times I just kind of hold on to it. It can force them to, especially early on in the game, it can force them to, use mana where they and not have any spare mana to cast a spell they want to cast to save a creature or an ability or something. I've put it on a Soul Ring of an opponent to get them to sacrifice it to get my creatures back. So it's a enchant non-land permanent at the beginning of your upkeep of enchanted permanent's controller. That player sacrifices it unless he or she pays X, where X is its converted mana cost. So you get something that's real big, like a 7/7. You might as well have just removed it, because unless it's really late game where they have a lot of mana, they're going to sacrifice it and they're going to lose that card. So for 2 mana, it's not bad at all. We're just running 2 in there, and sometimes I'll swap those out for another utility or something. Down to 3 mana, we have Rebuke, and I can't thank King enough for telling me about this card. I was running another card which I had to wait till the creature actually attacked and did damage before I could kill it. So this, for 3 mana, it's the same as the other card. Destroy targeting attacking creature instant for 3 mana. So really useful. It's just as good, in my opinion, as as a black direct removal. The only downside is that you play decks that have triggered abilities that whenever they attack, they're generating tokens or they're doing something. So it still doesn't stop that, so it's not as good as a black direct removal. So we're running 4 of those. Oblivion Ring, somebody commented recently, if you're playing white and you need a removal spell, you always go to Oblivion Ring. So, and a lot of people now are running Destroy Target Enchantment just to get those, to deal with the Oblivion Ring. Exile another target non-land permanent. When it leaves the battlefield, then you return that exile to the field, so under their control. Running 4 of those as well. Fiend Hunter, really like this guy, and unfortunately he's a 1/3, so that helps out a little bit for 3, but usually he just gets burned out and they get their card back, so not as powerful as Oblivion Ring. When he enters the battlefield, same effect, exile another target creature. Just like Oblivion Ring, it comes back to their control. And he's a 1/3, so he can swing in for some damage as long as he's not going to get blocked and destroyed. So you have to be real careful. And then again, like I said, with the cloud shifts, we can exile him again and choose another target. If we had pulled him out for a 3/3 or something and they brought a 6/6 out, we could choose that utility to get another card. So just running 3 of him right now. Actually, I'm running 4 of him as well. Martial Law, really like this. It's the Detain feature, but it's an enchantment for 4 mana, 2 colorless and 2 white. So at the beginning of your upkeep, detain target creature and opponent controls. What I really love about Martial Law is it's constantly out on the field, and it's constantly triggering things. And so again, they would have to have a destroy target enchantment spell to get rid of it, so it's a little bit harder to get rid of. And I don't have to plan when my creatures come out like Fiend Hunter. I don't have to plan, okay, well, I don't want to bring him out right now. Now I want to bring him out and exile something, just like just a card and other type detain abilities. So Martial Law is really good. We're running 2 in the deck. Sometimes I up that. Usually when I play with 3, I find that I'm utilizing 2 of them, and I can't even use the 3rd one. So it would just be in there just to make sure we get it, but I definitely don't utilize 3 Martial Laws, really. Next card we have is Angel Jubilation. Really like this. It is a control-based deck, and I think that this is really the only thing where it deviates. So he's a 3/3 for 4. Flying other non-black creatures, you get 1/1, so that helps some of our other creatures swing in and do a little bit more damage. If we even treat the angel tokens, it really helps them out. And then players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or to activate abilities, so that's really, really powerful. So that's really the control aspect of this card. So it's kind of dual function, it helps us out, and it's also some control. And then at the very least, he's a 3/3 flying, so we're running 2 of him. And then Azure is Justicar. When he enters the battlefield, detain up to 2 target creatures your opponent controls. So again, you kind of have to plan it. And he is just a 2/2 for 4, but 2 targets at the same time is really beneficial. So we're just running 2 of him as well. Sublime Archangel, again, it's another kind of non-control card, but somewhere in the middle of the deck, you have to have something that could creep up and be a win condition. You can't always, and we don't have any ramping ability, so we can't just wait till our big fatties come out to do the damage and things like that. And we can't always bank on and treat the angels to come out in a miracle. So we've got Sublime Archangel that's really good, flying exalted. Other creatures you control have exalted, and he's a 4/3 for 4. So really great card. And that combined with, you know, Angel of Jubilation, you're putting some serious threats out there. We've got 3 Terminus. Sometimes I run 4. It just depends. Put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's libraries. It's a miracle cost, so that's usually when we get it. The straight hard cast is pretty steep for 6 mana, but again, it's a board clear, so you're going to want to use it when the board's full, which is going to be late game. So hopefully you have enough mana to cast that. Angel Serenity, that's really, I would say, our secondary win condition. And when Angel Serenity enters the battlefield, you may exile up to 3 other target creatures from the battlefield. So it's like 3 Oblivion Rings, but just for creatures. And then when it leaves the battlefield, you return the exile creatures to their owner's hands. That's just saved our butt more than a few times. It's always going to be a hard cast. So, so from 4 to 6 to 7, and then we've got Entreat the Angels. So I have hard casted a few times, even with the double X cost, and put 1 angel out on the field as a blocker. Sometimes I get 2 out, but usually it's the miracle cost that we're looking for. We're looking to basically control them, detain them, block them, mess them up until we can get Entreat the Angels out there. If we have to clear the board to do so, get rid of exile creatures, whatever we have to do to get to Entreat the Angels. And this card's pretty steep in cost as far as price in online or in paper, so it is significantly cheaper online, though. It's probably about half as much. I think the paper goes for about 30, this goes for 12, 13, 14, something like that. So running 4 of those, that's really it. That's mono white control. There's a portion where control kind of creeps into mid-range a little bit with this deck, but I don't really have the reset mechanic like down pat. Like I have Terminus for board clearing and stuff, and it puts them on the bottom of their library. So I mean, but this is something that I would run in a control deck anyway. So I don't really think it's borderlining on mid range. I think this is still, in my opinion, still really a true control deck. You know, we're not running blue, so it's not going to take the same you know, the same form as a typical control deck, which usually catches people off guard. They don't know what to expect when they see white. They're thinking Exalted when they see Sublime Archangel. They're seeing Angelica Wall and thinking maybe it's a defender deck. They're trying to figure out what the hell I'm trying to do. So, anyway, comment, like, and subscribe, guys. What do you think? What do you think I can improve this deck, or possibly switch the number of count on some cards? It's working really well for me. The percentage of wins is very, very high, and it's all about how you pilot the deck. So, we'll catch you later, guys. Bye. Yeah, pretty sure I said Soul Ring instead of Oblivion Ring. That's great.